Hi everyone, it's Carl. The Little Red Riding Hood, known for different but meaningful versions which could be interpreted from thousands of perspectives, stands out amongst world's famous fairy tales. It goes, once upon a time, there was a little girl. Her grandmother gave her a red riding hood, and the girl loved it so much she wore it all the time, so everybody started to call her Little Red Riding Hood. One day, her mother told the girl her grandmother had fallen ill. Because she lived alone, deep in the woods, she would probably be happy to get some food and a visit from her granddaughter. Mother gave a basket with food and a bottle of wine to Little Red Riding Hood and told her, "Don't stray from the path." The girl promised, but soon forgot about her mother's warning. After a while, she met a wolf in the woods. He asked her where she was going, and she told him about her granny's bad health and where she lived. The wolf tricked her into stopping and picking some flowers. She did that, and in the meantime, the wolf ran to the granny's house. The wolf, pretending to be the granddaughter, entered the grandmother's house and ate the lady. Then he dressed in her nightgown and waited for Little Red Riding Hood. When she came in, the famous dialogue about great arms, great ears, and great teeth followed. After that, the wolf ate the girl and took a nap. Soon after, a huntsman came by the house and heard snoring. He entered cautiously, saw the sleeping monster in Granny's bed, and guessed what happened. Then he opened the sleeping wolf's stomach with a knife. Granny and the Red Riding Hood came out and helped the huntsman fill the wolf's stomach with stones. When the wolf woke up, he tried to run away, but the stones were too heavy. He fell down and died. Grandmother, granddaughter, and huntsman lived happily ever after. Yet, not in Perrault's version. What I'd like to share is not the common one with the official happy ending where the granny and granddaughter lived happily ever after. Quite on the contrary, the story ends when the wolf eats the girl. We read only a conclusion that the huntsman disappeared, and the story ends up with the death of the grandmother and the granddaughter. Nonetheless, the details that generate sizable differences emerge if and only if you took time to contemplate on them. The hidden meanings will be revealed by discovering and interpreting the symbols beneath the words. Charles Perrault, French poet and writer born on January 12, 1628 in Paris, France. Implying the social and cultural atmosphere back to the time Perrault lived in was not as advanced and of inclusiveness as what we possess in the modern time. For example, gender inequality, patriarchal society, the hierarchy where the predominant side, in other words, executive board exploits the people on subordinate layers and following moves to con them into envious thinking. With regard to the symbol throughout the story, the first one has to be the hood the girl is wearing, which is made by her grandmother as a sign of pampering as well as protecting because the hood is the craft of the grandmother, and the major function of a hood is to shield people from sunlight and covering hair. It is precisely the hair, women's particularly, that plays a role of significance during their lifetime of burgeoning. As a result, the symbol here endeavors to convey me a message that the girl is still not mature yet, and the grandmother wants to shelter her from dangers. Moreover, since the girl inherited the hood from her grandmother, it also represents the circle of life, the cycle of life, which the young receives the olds. What's more, her name is Little Red Riding Hood, so the hood is not transparent, it is red. And the color matters a lot. As far as I am concerned, red stands for blood, which is not only concerned with life and kinship, but also girls' menstruation and growth. Generally speaking, Perrault is scathing in his denunciation while demonstrating the character as the Little Red Riding Hood to show his thoughts towards the society of the time. Another symbol in the story is the forest. Why dare the little girl chose to trek through while there is the shortest path available? I assume it is the symbol of life. which is always unknown, unconsciousness, unpredictable, but also very serious. Serious enough to be a coach, training and forging the protagonist to be an accountable person. Furthermore, since the main character in the story is female, I could also speculate the forest as the belly, which serves as a fertile seedbed of maturity and responsibility, breeding and cultivating the little girl. The third symbol I find meaningful and attractive is the bottle that the little girl takes to her grandmother. It could be interpreted as the suppression of feelings, for it is trapped instead of being released, which could be regarded as the mother's hidden expectations to the girl as well as girl's desire to be mature. Besides, the bottle could also be analyzed as a phallic gadget, which emphasizes the girl's purity and virginity, even though it is a masculine symbol. Due to it is made of glass, it is vulnerable and fragile. It becomes porous, another insinuation towards the society. Last but not least, the bed where the granny has been lying on for months, as well as where both of the grandmother and the girl get eaten up, is the symbol that I found most interesting among all the symbols in the story. If the granny could have gotten up and checked out whether it was her granddaughter knocking the door or not, rather than shouting out the method to open the door, she could have saved her life. Or if the little Red Riding Hood insisted asking the fake grandmother, which is imitated by the vicious wolf, to open the door, she could have survived. To conclude, the bad is where people's purpose get defeated. Even if it provides people a shelter from chillness, what couldn't be neglected is it breeds indolence as well as crime. As a result, the bed, from my perspective, is the symbol of a neutral seed bag where it could not only offer people warmth and safety but also generates indolence and evil. There goes the references, and thank you.